Hello folks, how you doing? It's Descattys. In this video I want to talk about rations, some food really. I'm preparing for a lightweight camp with my old mucker Barney from Barney's Bimbles. So what I want to do is just sit down and have a chat about rations. So go make yourself a cup of tea or a cup of coffee or a soft drink even, or even grab yourself a beer and sit back and listen to me babbling on needlessly about food and rations. So before I get going, I've got a quick announcement to make. I've been wanting to do a podcast forever, and I've finally kind of bucked up the courage to commence with one. So it is basically the Descattys Outdoor Podcast. It is everything to do with just bushcraft, the outdoors and all the rest of it. I've done an intro so far and then just a look back over 2019. I will be just basically covering all outdoor activities, bushcraft and such like. I'll even have it where I have people come on, where we have guests, and we basically just sit down with a cup of tea or around the fire or at my house or whatever, and we'll have a chat about current subjects and stuff like that, sort of revolved around bushcraft and outdoor activities. So I can be reached on Spotify, Breaker, Pocket Casts, Google Podcasts, and finally Radio Public at the moment. I'm doing it through Anchor, so I suppose those people at Anchor, they work in the background to obviously get you on all the different platforms and everything else. So they're the five at the moment that I'm actually on. So I'll put a link in the description. Please check out the description, and you can go over there and have a look, or have a listen rather, and listen to my dulcet tones. So rather than look at me, you can have a listen to me instead. So, right, so here goes then folks. So rations, food, camping food, whatever, however you want to label it, MREs, blah 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 blah, doesn't really matter. As I say, I'm out with Barney. We've set ourselves a little task where we're just going to daysack it. We're going to kind of do a bit of a daysack challenge. Well, I say a daysack, about sort of 35 litres at the most we're going to use rucksack wise, and we're planning a camp out where we kind of come to an agreement that we're going to be more involved with kind of woodcraft and stuff like that, where we're not going to take cooking grills and such like and frying pans and everything else. We're going to kind of go right back to basics and improvise as much as we can during that. We're only going out for kind of 2 days, so one night with obviously an overnight in between, but we plan on obviously sort of having a bit of fun, a bit of learning and all that sort of stuff, and obviously practicing our crafts with regards to woodcraft and such like. So I'm actually in the process of trying to dwindle my weight down. At the moment I'm using sort of a 32 litre rucksack, and I want to try and get everything I want for those couple of days basically into that, which isn't really that difficult, but obviously with that, trying to keep your load light and compact and everything else. Obviously, sometimes it does take a little bit of pre-planning and preparation. I mean, I could go kind of what clothes I stand in, just take a knife and be done with it, but then that wouldn't be a comfortable experience. I obviously want to go out there and have fun at the same time. I'm not actually on a survival course anymore or anything like that. It really is just a bit of fun and enjoyment, and obviously practicing some skills while we're out there. Right, so food, energy, calories, carbs, protein, minerals, blah blah blah, all that kind of stuff. What I've basically done, because I'm trying to go lightweight, I've basically packed all my food for 2 days, which when I actually lay it out on the table, it actually probably looks quite a lot, and it is, because I've not just covered it for sort of 2 days. I like to cover it for almost double, and if not a bit more, just in case of those possible eventualities. All right, so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay out all the kit and sort of have a little chat about rations. Yeah, you might learn something, you might not, you might pick up a few tips, or you might not, but here goes. So this is what I'm using in regards to my ration pack. In there is stuff that's been bought out of the shops, and also I've taken some stuff out of the ration packs that I've received from from Mac Tightwad, and I've basically just used all that broke bits down from the ration pack, and obviously just made up my own. So the pouch is obviously one of David Fry's pouches, and if I just sort of open the zip there, what I've done, I've actually sort of, I've packed some extra bits that I don't normally take out, like chocolate and stuff like that, meaning that being that we've just gotten over Christmas and my wife bought me a selection box, and I don't really eat that much chocolate, to be quite honest, and even when I go camping I don't, but I think it's just it is sometimes nice to have it just as a comfort food. So what I've done is I've taken a couple of extra, taken some bars of chocolate with me. So the first one I've got in there is a good old double decker. I've got a bar of dairy milk. It's not necessarily that I'll eat it all, but it's obviously just nice, as I say, to have there as a comfort food. I like to take some protein bars and oatmeal type bars, obviously for energy and slow energy release and stuff like that. I've actually got a packet of these are the biscuits. These are chocolate chip sort of biscuits out of the British 24-hour ration pack. Alright, I've got another packet of oatmeal biscuits there. What I like to do with these are ginger nut ones, and I like to eat them on their own. Or what I've got is I like to use the 10K fuel, this kind of stuff. You might, if you're a regular watcher to my channel, you'll see me squirting this in porridges and all the rest of it, and I absolutely love it. It's got no palm oil in it or sugar or anything like that. It really is just peanuts and such like, and I like to just squeeze that on my on the cookies and just eat them. All right, so it's nice to have that peanut butter as well. I've got some chewing gum in now. Why would I put chewing gum? Why not? I suppose when I've eaten my dinner, it'd be nice just to clean my teeth up, I suppose. And it's actually called dental chewing gum. This is just a packet of fruit sweet pastels that come out of the ration pack. I've got some isotonic drink in there as well, because it's good to keep hydrated during those, when you're practicing all those different activities. I've got some rice. I've got 2 packets of noodles. I know noodles are not really always the greatest of fares when it comes to, when it comes to calories and such like, but I do like a packet of noodles, and what I always like to do, I like to kind of subsidise them with, I like adding sort of stinging nettles to them as well, or something like that, just to sort of beef your noodles up a tiny bit. I've got 2 homemade porridges, and in there I've got I'll put obviously oats in there. I've got flaxseed in there as well, a powder, like a ground up powder. I've got peanut butter in there as well, peanut butter powder. Okay, and finally I've got hemp protein in it as well, so it's a nice wholesome porridge to obviously give me that energy and keep me packed and keep me going through the sort of the kind of activities of bushcraft and camping and all that sort of stuff. So I've got 2 of those, one for each day. I've also got some Spam. Love a bit of Spam. It's not for everyone. It's a bit like Marmite. You either get people like Marmite or hate Marmite, and it's pretty much the same as Spam. You either like Spam or you hate it, and I love it. So because I'm not going to take any bacon or anything like that out with me, I'm basically going to use the Spam, so I can obviously eat that. The good thing about this stuff, I can eat it straight out of the pack. Uncooked or anything, so if I want to cook it up, I can cut it up into chunks and even add it to my noodles or whatever else I want to make an addition to one of my meals. I've taken an extra, this is the chicken and mushroom pasta out of the 24-hour ration pack. They're really nice actually, I must admit, they're really, really tasty. I've also got the apple turnover. They are lovely, I've got to admit, they are really nice to have, especially after having a nice big wholesome meal. And then the last 2 items that I've got in now is basically homemade stuff, and that is I've got some fruit leather. This is apple and cinnamon. This is a couple of years old. I actually made this, I made this fruit leather from some apples that I picked up, that I collected myself from an apple tree a couple of years ago. And then obviously I've got some jerky there as well to sort of stoke up my meals if I want. And then obviously all this goes back into the pouch as before. The reason why as well, why I've kind of put the Spam, rather than keep it in a tin or one of these sort of, they come in like a plastic tub, it's a bit bulky. So what I've done, as I say, I've got an Andrew James vacuum sealer, cut my stuff up, put it in there, flat, you know, obviously vacuum seal it, and it makes it nice and flat and less bulgy for when I pack it inside my kit. I mean, as I say, there's quite an overkill there with food, but I'd rather have a bit too much than not enough. There's nothing worse than feeling hungry when you're out sort of doing stuff. I know I might have taken a bit, I mean, it's really surprising, but I don't really take out chocolate with me that often. I'm more one for taking protein bars or flapjacks and that sort of thing, really just because of that energy. I mean, I do kind of think that it's a good idea to have chocolate and such like in an emergency ration pack or something like that, if something goes, you know, if you run into a situation where it goes a bit live and you're in a group of people, and then obviously, you know, there's a lot of energy being expended and people stressing out and all that kind of stuff. So once kind of the situation's been calmed down and organised, and it's one of them sit down, it's nice to sort of have a hot drink and maybe a chocolate bar just to sort of get that quick fix of sugar back into your system. All right, but I'm hoping for me it's going to be more of a luxury. All right, so that's it. So that's my rations for our overnighter that we've got coming up soon, our challenge. All right, and as I say, this all fits into the yeah. I was going to take some bannock bread. I might still do that. It depends. I'm going to see what sort of room I've got inside my rucksack, because obviously as much as I want to pack it up, I don't like to have a rucksack packed to the hilt. I still like to have a little bit of extra room in there. If I want to put a jacket in there or something, if it gets too hot or whatever. And then the only other thing that I've bought on top of that is obviously the old fruit mix, trail mix, something like that. And this is in a resealable bag, simply being so that I can obviously open it and then choose some on the go. And that will go into one of my jacket pockets, or it will go into the top pocket of my rucksack. And then, as I say, that's my kind of snack. So I've got these peanuts, raisins, and God knows what else in there, just to give me that slow release of energy. All right, so that's really it, folks. I mean, not nothing to really kind of educate you too much. I don't really want to start talking about rations, you know, on an individual basis with regards to, you know, what sort of food you have in there and everything else. At the end of the day, it's down to you. I mean, I like it sometimes when I go out camping. I like to take burgers and steak and fresh veg and potatoes and stuff like that, and mix it up. I mean, talking about that, I mean, if you go over and have a look at Wilderness Nomads YouTube channel, I mean, you know, that guy does some, like most people, he does some superb cooking, Dutch oven cooking and all the rest of it, and he does cook from fresh, does old Chris. So you know, it's easily done. I mean, because I'm going on kind of a lightweight sort of camp, and I'll be limiting my stuff to kind of cookware and stuff like that, I really will only be carrying my my Pathfinder cup to sort of do my cooking in, or I'll be cooking on green sticks and stuff like that over the fire. So because of that sole reason, that's why I'm kind of keeping my food like this, rather than having loads of fresh food with me as well. Okay, so that's about it, folks. All right, so just to sort of clarify, so we've got this camp out coming out soon, myself and Barney. Don't forget to check out my my podcast on all the various platforms at the moment. I'll put a link in the description of all the ones you can go over and have a look at, especially Spotify. What I want to have that on. And also I'll keep you in the loop of what's going on about my about the merch, okay? And I'll keep you posted there. And obviously I'm still very slowly creeping up to that forever 1,000 goal. So if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do so. I deeply appreciate it, and help me to get to that 1,000. All right, okay, so thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave your comments. Stay safe. All right, and Descattys signing out, and I'll see you on the flip side. Take care, folks. Laters.